So we can go ahead and get started. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Andrew McAfee. I'm the Vice President at the Clermont Chamber of Commerce. We're so excited. This is the first time we've kind of stepped out and we're exploring this idea of doing some traveling. This in particular, we're talking about going to Greece, March 11th through the 19th of 2024. So with us tonight, I have Teresa Harden. She is the business development manager at Aventura World. They are the kind of the agency that we are going through to do all of the planning for this trip. She has been super helpful. Every question that I've had, she's had an answer to, as we've started kind of selling tickets to this really, really unique and really, really special trip. So I'm going to turn it over to Teresa, and she's going to kind of give us the 411 on what we could expect from this trip. If any of you have any questions, you can throw it in the chat box. You can wait till the end and you can ask them then, or you can shoot me an email either this evening or tomorrow, and we'll get you an answer. So with that, I'll turn it over to Teresa.
Thanks, Andrew, so much. And thank you to the Clermont Chamber of Commerce Foundation for partnering with Aventura World for this amazing trip to Greece, the land of gods and heroes. And you're really going to learn a lot about these gods and heroes. It's really, really interesting. Your trip starts March the 11th through to the 19th, and then there is an extension to Santorini. And seriously, folks, Santorini is so different than the rest of Greece. If you can, keep those extra 2 nights to stay another 2 nights, I would suggest you do. And I'm going to show you photos to show you why you want to go to Greece and to the part of Santorini as well. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Aventura World. We have been a valued leader in the U.S. travel group marketplace since 1972. That makes us just over 50 years of age. We are a member of the Socrates International Group, and we actually have thousands of employees in our company. And we have offices in Paris and Rome and London, Delhi, and Cairo and New York, New Jersey. And now we have a new office in Dubai. So we have trips to all of these locations and pretty much all over the world, anywhere in the world. We are an official travel partner of the Association of Chambers of Commerce, and they are our educational body, and they are and all across the United States. There are well over 7,000 to 10,000 chambers that belong to this association, and of course, we're part of it. We're actually a travel wholesaler. So we eliminate the middleman, if you want to call it that way, and we're able to give you really good trips at very good prices. And we always include educational portions to our trips so that you'll learn something more about the country than just traveling to see tourist attractions and things like that. And we change with the times. Some trips are better than others some years, just depending on weather and different things like that. And then we hope after you see this program that you will actually agree with us and you'll want to come with us. This is a wonderful time to go to Greece. So here is your brochure, and it has your pricing. Now I'll tell you more about your brochure in a little bit, but you can get your brochure from the chamber. You can have them send it to you online. You can also register online. So there are 2 ways you can do it. You can do it with a paper registration. Some folks like to do it that way. Others prefer to do it online, and we'll show you how you can do that as well. So Greece is just absolutely amazing, beautiful country. And sunsets are always great, but in Greece, somehow they seemed even better. So again, you want to come with us. You're going to see history spanning centuries and centuries, and you're going to be able to walk around these things and take photos. There are no restrictions on photo taking at all. You're going to learn about the culture and the tradition. And this is Santorini that I'm telling you is so different than the other parts of Greece that you're going to be able to see. The food and wine, it's Mediterranean. So, according to all the diet folks, Mediterranean food is your best food for you, which means you probably don't need to have a diet while you're here in Greece. You can pretty much eat anything you want. There's seafood, game, all sorts of different things that you can eat in Greece. People are very friendly. Very, very friendly folks. And of course, we want you to travel with friends. So tell your friends all about it and come with us. So on day one, you will depart from Greece, and you folks will be departing from, I believe it is Cincinnati, Ohio, that you'll be departing from. So again, a good time in March to leave Ohio and come to warmer climate. And you will arrive in Greece on day two, and you actually will arrive in Athens. Athens has over 3 million people that call it home. It's a very, very large city, a beautiful city as well. And you just think about it. You will be here right at the Acropolis, and you'll be able to walk around and see these things and take photos also of Athens. It's just beautiful. So when you get to Athens, you're going to get your luggage. You're going to go through customs. You'll go out an exit door. And at Athens, you will be met by your Aventura World representative. And we have both ladies and gentlemen, and they're people who have taken classes in history, and many of them are graduates from the universities in Greece. So they know their history, they know about their country, and they are so proud and happy to tell you about it. These are the types of buses you'll be traveling on. Generally, they seem to be Michelins. They're always comfortable, air-conditioned. Some have restrooms, not all of them. We have buses of different sizes, but if you have a fairly large group of 30 or more people, you'll find that you'll have this size of bus. So here's where you're actually going. You will arrive in Athens. You'll fly into Athens, and then you're going to actually be staying in Canetta. So it's about a 2-hour drive from Athens airport to Canetta. And this is right here along the Peloponnese Peninsula and everything else. And we are going to, as you can see, travel to a number of different places along the peninsula. And you're also going to go up to Delphi as well. And then Santorini. So here's Canetta, and you'll be staying at the Canetta Beach Resort, and I have photos for you. I was there recently, and it's a very nice place. It's right on the water. You can walk along the beach. You can have breakfast on the beach. You can have breakfast or lunch or dinner there. And it's about 2.5 hours actually drive time from Athens. So this is overlooking the beach resort and spa. You stay in the news section. There is a news section, and it's right along, and the restaurants and everything are right along here so that you can see the water. Farther out here, you can see the ships going into Athens, and this beach is very long, and you can walk all along it as well. So it's, again, extremely comfortable, good location for all sorts of different things. Gardens are very pretty there too. And so this is what your room will look like. The rooms are spacious, they're stylish, they've got nice clean rooms. They have big bay windows so you can look out the windows, or big picture windows. They have air conditioning, they have mini fridge, they have a safe, they have Wi-Fi, direct telephone. The doors all are electronic, and the hair dryer is included for the ladies. If you have a double bed or 2 twin beds, a third person would sleep on a rollaway, just so you know as well. And here are the restaurants. So this restaurant, you're looking right onto the ocean, and this is where we often had breakfast if we didn't go outside to have breakfast. And your meals are all included in this program. So you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. All are included in the price of your program. This is the bar area, and each night there is basically what you call a happy hour night for anybody that would like to use it. And so local beers and wine are at no cost for you. Anything that was imported, then there is a charge, but it's not bad either. And then, of course, you've got waters and juice and sodas and things like that. And here's a third dining area that, again, you will have a chance to use at one other time later on. It's more of a special area that you go to, but again, we ate there, and it was very nice, very beautifully decorated. So this, as I said, gives you an idea of more things on the property. The beach, you can walk for miles and miles down. There are swimming pools. March might be a bit cold, might not be, depends, but they're open for swimming if you would like to swim, for the brave and hardy ones. After Ohio, depending on the winter you have, it might actually feel quite warm. And this is just, we're suggesting that you come with us and you enjoy and relax with the Greek life. And here again is another picture of the beach area. And this is where the restaurant would be, right along here, one of them, the main one that you use. And you can have breakfast outside if you like. Sunrise is beautiful here. Sunset is too. Then on that first day, actually, when you get into Canada, into the hotel, you will have a welcome dinner the night that you get in, and again, it's all part of the package price, so you'll be able to enjoy every bit of it. Then the next day, which would be day 3, you're going to have a city tour of Athens. And before you start out, they'll have someone come that will be able to speak on the European nation. You know, Greece was in dire financial problems about 2007. And the European nation voted to help Greece, and they made all the difference in the world for the people that live in Greece, for tourism. It's one of the most popular spots for tourism in Europe, and they use the euro dollar. So that is something, again, which is very compatible to the United States, or the American dollar. So this is one of the Olympic sites. This is for the modern games. So from 1896 onward, they've been using this site for the Olympics when they have them in Greece. You're actually going to go to the original site as well and see it. And here are some of the things that you're going to see on your day in Athens. So that day, after you have the speaker come to you at the resort, you're then going to have lunch. And then you'll hop on the motor coach and they'll take you into Athens. And these are some of the sites that you will see in Athens and that you will stop by. And again, your tour director will be with you for the entire trip. And so they will start to explain the history, give you information on it. They love questions. So please, if you're coming with us, ask questions. You know, these people, this is their homeland. They're very proud of it. They want to tell everybody about it. So please ask them questions and they'll tell you. And when you leave Greece and you come back to the United States, you'll really feel like you got to know about Greece, the people, what they do, what it's like to live there. And it won't be just tourist sites that you've seen. You'll actually have a better idea and understanding of what they do and how everything happens in Greece. You'll also go to the Parliament and the Memorial to the Unknown Soldier. And generally, they take you when it's the changing of the guard. So again, you'll get to watch that, which is really, really cool. And here you'll see what it looks like. This is the changing of the guard. You'll also have a chance to stop at the Academy as well. And many of these are all right in Athens, downtown Athens, and the National Library of Greece as well. And here also. And then Constitution Square actually is right in front of the Parliament. And for those of you who would like to do some shopping and things, there's shopping, some really good boutiques and things like that farther down here in this area. You do get some free time to take photos and to wander around a little bit. We try to give you plenty of free time so that you will explore on your own and make some of your own memories as well. So of course, here's where you will be going to in the afternoon as well. And this is the Athenian Empire that was built, if you can believe. Construction began in 447 British before Christ. So amazing, the ancient history that you're going to see and experience. And here again, you will actually be like this group, and then you'll be able to explore and go up and see all the different things and take pictures. And they always take lots of photos of you as a group, and there's lots of time to do all that kind of thing as well. Then the next day, you're going to visit the Arcadia area and the Peloponnese Peninsula. And so each morning you will have breakfast at the hotel and then you start your day. Some days will be a bit earlier, but on the average, the bus doesn't leave until 8 or 9. And they will tell you the day before what time they're going to leave and where they're going. The tour director, they'll be there and they'll be telling you, be ready for the bus at whatever time. That way you know when to get up, that type of thing. And so again, you'll see the beautiful mountainside villages of Arcadia, the Peloponnese. And you're going to drive through this beautiful country. And you're going to the Mycenaean area, and again, have a chance to walk through. Your tour director, again, will take you through this area, explain to you the different history, the different gods that were recognized, all the different things that make Greece so special. And you'll go through the Lion's Gate and the Cyprian walls. There are a number of different scriptures and things like that on here that you'll get to learn about and see. And this beehive royal tomb, which is amazing. The acoustics here are something else. You can just whisper and people above can hear things. It's really interesting. And this is ancient. This also is Epidaurus, and if you see this person down here, it's probably the tour director. This amphitheater is 65 feet in height, and it holds 14,000 people. They still use this amphitheater. And your tour director will probably be in the middle here. And if you want to be adventuresome and go up the 65 feet, it's worth it. I did. And you will find that if she whispers, you will be able to hear her clearly up here. Again, amazing architecture that is thousands of years old. Then also they have a museum there that's a really good museum, and they allow you to take photos of pretty much everything. And they open it specially for our tour group to go in there. It's absolutely amazing what you'll see. So you'll continue on the same day to Naphilion, and this is a very romantic town, and you'll see here on top there's the castle here and the wall that has been there for centuries. And you'll actually go up to that area and be able to look across and see some of the ships that come in that area. It's beautiful countryside. And you can walk the streets. So they have some really exquisite boutiques in here. Good for those that would like to shop. There's also a gelato place down here where my arrow is. Amazing gelato. But beautiful streets, beautiful sidewalks, beautiful, all kinds of flowers, the bougainvilleas, all the different flowers that grow in warm climates and the trees. Absolutely beautiful. And then you're also going to be able to go to an olive farm, and you're going to learn about the olives and the olive trees. Some of these trees have been here since the 13th century, and they are still producing olives. So you'll go to this olive tasting farm, actually. You'll go to an olive farm, and you will see how they sort them, all the whole process, and the equipment they use. And again, the different types of olives. And you'll see how the olive oil comes through the system. And then this lady is the owner of this farm, and she also has cosmetics. And she sends them into the United States. She works with a number of companies in the US that have them. And so when you're there, you can actually get a sample or purchase cosmetics from the olive farm. And if it's something you really like and you'd like to get them again, she distributes them in the United States all over. So again, it's something you can continue on with if that's something you would like to do. Then the next day, you're going to, of course, go back to the hotel in Canada. And then the next day, you're going to actually cross the Corinth Canal. So Corinth is an ancient city. Actually, Paul from the Bible actually was in Corinth. And remember, part of the Bible, it says he spoke to the Corinthians. So you'll see there's a little church. They'll show you the ruins of it where he actually spoke. And then the canal itself, it connects the Gulf of Corinth with the Saronic Gulf and the Aegean Sea, and it cuts through the isthmus, as you can see right here, and separates the Peloponnese from the Greek mainland, and it's making really a former peninsula now becomes an island. So they had a few years ago some terrible rains, and some of this part of the sides of the cliffs actually crashed into the canal, and it stopped the large ships from coming through because the huge tankers come through here and everything. So for the last couple of years, they've been excavating here and digging this out to make it passable again. So you may or may not get to go on the boat that goes through there. It just depends. And you can see the boat going through there. So you may or may not be able to, but you will be able to cross right here and stand right here. And it's really, really, I think you can see a person there. It is amazing. We took some really great photos of all of us standing and looking down and also across from both sides. It's well worth it. There's also a little shop that you could get souvenirs and things like that. Here's a better view. If you are able to go on the tourist boat, it will take you through there. If not, as I said, you'll be on one of these bridges and it's still every bit as good. You're also going to stop right next door to the canal, and it is a little restaurant. And this is actually where I tasted some of the best Greek food I've ever tasted in my life. And you're also going to be able to sample ouzo. So here in the United States, ouzo, a lot of us drink it in a shot glass or put a little bit of ice with it. But in Greece, they put water with it, and it's they fill quite a bit of water and then pour the ouzo into the glass of water. Tastes a little bit different because of it, and probably you can consume more of it if that's the goal, you'll find. But the food here in this particular restaurant is absolutely delicious. And gosh, I'd go back there just for that place alone. It is so good. You'll also be right by the canal, so you'll be able to see this type of scenery. And again, great photos. You'll also see some of the tankers going by, and so through the canal. And so you can see this is where the restaurant is, right here on the right-hand side. So you're right there where you can see everything that's happening. So on day 6, then you're going to go to Delphi, and this is one of the early bird tours. And this is why many of us go to Greece, is to see these ancient cities and to see the ruins and everything else. Now this is, it's about an hour and a half to 2-hour drive. It's into the mountains, absolutely beautiful scenery. And here is the Apollo Temple, and this is exactly what you will be doing. Your tour director will take you and explain the history of these different areas of Delphi. You'll find the sidewalks and the paths are really easy to navigate, but you are going up and down. You will go probably to the top. There's an amphitheater up there, which is really worth going to. You'll see all the wild cyclamen and things like that we buy in the stores to put in our houses and in our gardens, and here they grow wild. And you'll see a number of different things in the sanctuary, and a lot of these have inscriptions and writings in the actual stone. And again, a lot of it's they can explain it to you and show you what it actually means. They can tell you how old it is, all of the history of this. So again, this is all of Delphi. Beautiful place for scenery. You can see the mountains, you can see the ocean. And here's the Temple of Apollo, which is one of the reasons they built it. And of course, you can walk up to the ancient stadium, and it's well worth the walk. Then also, they have a relatively new museum here, and it's air conditioned, and the air is controlled to make sure that all of these ruins and artifacts are kept safely. Again, you'll have a tour with a tour director that comes specially to explain things to you. And then you'll come back and you'll go back to Canetta. And then on day 7, you will go to Olympia. So this is the birthplace of the Olympic Games. And of course, it was also for the god Zeus and also the Temple of Hera. And so again, you will learn about it. The tour director will explain things to you, give you the history of it, all that type of thing.
Teresa,
Yes.
one of our attendees asked, if they're not doing the Delphi tour, what exactly do you do?
You could go on, we're close enough that you could go back to Athens by the train if you'd like to, or you could relax at the hotel. You could also go by the train to Corinth as well. So if they wanted to do one or the other of that, they can. The train is a little over 1,000, under 2,000 feet, literally from the hotel. So you just walk up the road a little bit, and it's in euro dollars, and it gives you the price, and you just pay for it, and it takes you to Athens, and you'll be able to get off it. And then when you want to come back, you just turn around and get back on it again.
Okay. And the Delphi tour is built into that early bird price that we offer, correct? Can you explain that real quick?
Well, if you, I believe I'm looking at your brochure here. I think if you sign up before, let me see here. If you sign up before October 22nd, then that Delphi tour is included. Okay. So that's the deal. If you sign up after October 22nd, then you would have to pay for it if you wanted to. go
Do you
to
know
it.
how much extra it is?
Yeah, I think it's right here on the brochure. Sorry, I gotta just turn the brochure. It is $199, I believe.
Okay.
Okay. And
Thanks.
yeah, it's $199. Okay.
Okay.
So we're at Olympia now. So this is your day 7, which is Olympia. Now, Delphi was higher in the mountains, and so there is steeper steps, steeper paths, things like that. Here in Olympia, it's flat. Okay, so if people are worried about whether they could walk up paths or things like that, this is much flatter. Okay, and so this is again, as I said, I'll go back a little bit. The Temple of Herrera, you can see it's very flat here, easy to walk on. All through here, again, this is where the Olympics began. This is beautiful, and you'll see here the Temple of Zeus. Here's the stadium itself where the participants of the original Olympics went through. If you can just imagine the pomp and ceremony and everything else as they go through for those Olympic Games. And this is the original Olympic site, and you can choose to walk or run down it if you like. We often take photos of everybody here, but it's pretty neat when you think this is the original place where it actually started, and you get to walk or run down it. Then again, after Olympia, it's a full day trip. And you'll have lunch there, and you'll see a lot of as I said, the other countries excavating this area of Olympia. They're still finding all sorts of artifacts and ruins. So it's quite interesting to be able to watch them and see what the archaeological sites, what people are finding and things like that. It's really interesting. They also have a really good sort of a tourist area that you can go and you can buy some souvenirs from. Also books on the site, the history, those types of things. And they have a great place for lunch, and that's usually where you'll have lunch there as well. It's out in nice warm weather, beautiful. So then day 8, believe it or not, it goes so quickly. You'll be in Athens, and you'll come in to see the Museum of the Acropolis. So this museum was built for specifically all the ruins and artifacts that are coming and they're finding from the Acropolis. They're still finding things, they're still excavating. And so this is a huge museum. It's, as you can see, beautiful. It's air controlled and everything, so that none of these ruins will fall apart or disintegrate or anything like that. And then you can see right here, it looks like glass. Well, it is glass, and you can walk along it. And you look down, and I'll show you in a minute, but this is, again, they're explaining about the museum. It covers both the Greek Bronze Age to Roman and Byzantine Greece, and it's actually lies over the ruins of part of a Roman and early Byzantine Athens. And so this is, to me, was amazing. But if you look down here, you're going to walk into the museum along here. It's to the left of you. But as you walk, you're looking down at these ruins that underneath, they built this on top, and yet you can still see the ruins. And they're also excavating this area as well, still. And then you're going to have lunch in Athens. And you're going to have lots of free time to go shopping and enjoy a lot of things here. So they'll take you to the market, and there's lots of things you can purchase. The local markets here have all the different fruits and vegetables and everything. You don't have to worry about the water in Greece. We suggest you buy bottled water, and it's available everywhere. But you can eat any of the fruit or vegetables that you see at any of the markets. The wine, the beers, they're all good. And you'll have a chance to drink and sample them at the Canetta Resort as well. And that's part of your package. And of course, you can shop for all sorts of things. So the evil eye, that is, they suggest that if you wear the evil eye, that will protect you from different devils and things like that. A lot of jewelry, you'll see beautiful jewelry, very expensive jewelry and very inexpensive jewelry. And of course, money purses, cups, bags. The fish markets are amazing if you want to try the smelt or the anchovies or things like that. They're really good. The restaurants have them, and you can try them. And so then, believe it or not, you would have passed through 9 days already. And so then those of you that are not going on to Santorini, and I would say if you can, please do, because it is so different than this part of Greece that you've seen. But those of you that have to go back, the bus will take you from the hotel to the airport, and they will make sure you get on the correct flight, you're checked in at the right place, and off you go back to the United States. For those of you that are going to go on to Santorini, you will be on the bus also, but they will take you to a different part of the airport to fly to Santorini. So this is just going to give you some ideas about some of the memories you'll have. You'll see the Acropolis, and you can take pictures of it in the daylight or in the moonlight. It's absolutely beautiful. Many artifacts in the museum that you're going to see that absolutely ancient. This is an old picture of this area, and not much has really changed, you'll see. Beautiful, the sculpture, the marble is absolutely beautiful. And it's so old, and yet it's still in such good shape. And of course, you can relax and enjoy the wine and the food. So this is a little bit about your trip. So the round air transportation is from Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, the price is from Cincinnati, Ohio, but if you have a friend or family or relative that wants to come and they live in Seattle, Washington, or San Francisco, California, they can do it. We would give them a price from those towns, cities, if they like. Usually there's a deviation of about $150. So it will be an additional $150 probably is what it would cost from the base price that we are giving you here. So it covers your hotel accommodations for 7 nights in Canada. It includes 20 meals. That means 7 breakfasts, 6 lunches, and 7 dinners. So everything is included in this price pretty much for you. I think you maybe have 1 lunch or you have to buy on your own. It includes local alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks in the bar every evening. So again, you can sit down, sit by the ocean. They have beach chairs and they have tables right on the beach there where you can just sit and relax and enjoy a sunset, that type of thing. And then it also includes your local guide and all the entrance fees to the city tour of Athens, the Acropolis Museum, crossing the Corinth canal, full-day excursion to the ancient sites and mountainside villages of the Peloponnese Peninsula, and it includes a visit to Mycenae, Epidaurus, Napoleon, and then those 2 optional tours that we have, Delphi and Olympia, are $199 each. If you obviously register before October 22nd, the Delphi trip is included, so you don't have to worry about that. That would be included, and you wouldn't have to pay extra for it. And then we also have our cultural discovery series. And of course, that is also in-depth learning on the economy and the social systems. You also have interaction with locals, with a local guest talking about what it's like to live in Greece. Do they have social security for seniors? Do they live with families? All the different things that affect how people are in this country. And then you'll also have the olive tasting at the local farm and the traditional Greek ouzo aperitif and the meal there as well. And that's all included as well. Your tour director, as I said, they stay with you the whole time. So that tour director will meet you at the Athens airport, help you get onto the motor coach, travel with you to Canada, stay with you the whole week in Canada, do everything with you, take care of you. As I said, they're home. This is their home. They're so proud of their country, and they all speak very good English. You will find that it's very easy to understand them as well. And then the motor coaches, as I've showed you, are air conditioned, and then it includes your baggage handling and transfers. You are allowed 1 piece of luggage to check in, and it cannot be more than 50 pounds, and you're allowed 2 carry-ons at the moment. So then this tells you a little bit more. The price is $3,499 per person, double occupancy, and that includes your air. Then the fuel surcharges of $350 a person are included, but there are taxes of $150 per person that are additional, and that's on your brochure. And then everything else, so it includes the Delphi tour. You've got to register by October 22nd though. And then the price increases by $100 per person, and the Delphi Tour then you would have to pay for separately. So we do encourage you that if that's something you want to be part of and see it, then put your deposit down by October 22nd. And sometimes we have to substitute hotels and adjust itineraries or tours, but usually, if anything, it's due to the weather. If we were to have a rainy day and maybe where we were going would affect the trip itself, then we might change it. But otherwise, overall, we don't. This is considered a 3, so you want to have out of 5, you want to have very comfortable walking shoes, and you do need to be prepared, especially if you're going to Delphi, that you'll be walking up and down hills.
Teresa, speaking of that, of what you just said about the clothes, someone asked, what kind of weather should you expect, it being mid-March?
Usually it's in the 60s, and so it's good for and these types of trips we do are pretty casual. You need layers of clothing. So I would say, I know we wore t-shirts pretty much, but in the evening it got a bit cooler, so we had a sweater or a jacket for it. Usually I suggest people look online about a week before the trip, and you will see pretty much then you have a good idea of what it's going to be like, and you can pack accordingly as well. But usually in the 60s, it's starting to warm up there nicely. And this part of Greece doesn't get very cold ever. So, okay. So this is Santorini. As you can see, it's very different from the other part of Greece that you will have seen. And it goes on for an extra couple days. So March the 19th through to the 21st, you would want to add that to the time you need to see this part of Greece. And it is absolutely beautiful. There is no other island like it in the Greek area, in Greece at all. So it includes accommodations for 2 nights. And you'll fly from Athens to Santorini, and then you'll fly from Santorini back to Athens when you are coming home. It includes breakfast, 2 days of breakfast. So you'd be on your own for lunch and for dinner. The restaurants are really good there, all kinds, and you're going to get to see the entire island. So the tour program includes sightseeing. So you have a local guide. Could be somebody from Santorini, and the bus that you will be riding will be very similar to the one you had, the motor coach, that type of thing. So it's very comfortable. In Santorini, you need to know you're either going uphill or downhill. There doesn't seem to be a happy medium too much anywhere. So if you and you have restaurants in your hotel, so you don't have to go, but if you want to walk a little bit and go sightseeing outside of your hotel area, then you're going to need to know that you walk up or down the hill, one way or the other. But you're going to have a whole bus tour of the island, and they do stop at all the little villages and everything else. So you're also going to have wine tasting, and this is a very unusual winery. And then your tour director stays with you as well. The bus drivers are great, and it includes also your baggage handling. And that price is $799 double occupancy, or it is $1,098 for single occupancy. So this is the island tour. On day 10, you're actually going to spend the entire day. You get up in the morning, have breakfast at the hotel, hop on the bus, and you are going to get to see every part of this island. And it's absolutely beautiful. First, you're going to go to the monastery of prophetesses, and this is there's still Franciscan monks there. And the bus goes all the way up. You don't have to worry about climbing that hill. And they'll take you there. You can see the islands of Crete in the distance, which is over 65 miles away on a clear day. It's absolutely beautiful. And actually, from this location, you can see all around the island. It's great for photography. It's really, really great. You can see the roads here that the bus brings you up and everything else. So you don't have to worry about walking. You'll see the port down in this area, see the ships coming and going. And here's more information about it. And again, you can see across on a clear day. And then you're going to go to Pyrgos, and this is a beautiful little village. Again, you'll stop here. You'll be able to explore. You'll go. You probably explore one of the churches. You'll go along pathways, and again, this is not where they take you, it's pretty much flat in this area that they take you. And you're going to stop in the wine museum. And I can never say this properly, this Acropolis winery, but this is an underground winery. So you go down here, it's a natural cave, but if someone is a bit claustrophobic, you won't feel like you won't feel that way. It's not that way. It's ancient, it's amazing, and you're going to have wine tasting. You get to sample about 4 types of wine that they grow here, and they grow wine quite differently than what we do in the United States. And then you're going to go on to Oya. And Oya is, as I said, more up and down, but you will find there are steps and you could stop and relax and sit, that type of thing. But the flowers, the bougainvillea, all the beautiful palm trees, different things like that make this absolutely superbly beautiful. And there's lots of shops if you would like to shop. And you can see this is the type of steps you're walking on, and you just have free time and take your time to go into all these different little shops. There's some very, very beautiful watercolors you'll see there if that's something you like to purchase. There's all kinds of pottery, leather goods, all those different types of things. And this you can see again out on the sea. You can see farther down that they have the ports, and you can see the different boats that are docked and things like that. And the sunsets in Santorini are supposed to be the best. And your bus driver will make sure that he gets you to the top of the area, and he will let you all out, and you'll be able to take pictures of the sunsets as well. It's a very romantic island. As you can see here, this is a sunset, and look how beautiful it is. So it's very, very different from any other part of Greece. It's well worth you seeing it. And then the next day you will leave Santorini and fly directly to the Athens airport, and you will hop on a plane there and head back for the US. So here are some of the memories that you're going to see and be able to, you actually can walk through here, take photos, changing of the guards. This is the charioteer that you will find in the Delphi Museum. It's a very famous bronze statue. This is along Oya, and you'll actually have lunch along here. Of course, again, more. So visas are not required. All you need is a passport if you're a US citizen. If you're not a US citizen, then you need to be in touch with the Greek embassy in the United States and get the visa that you need. And here's more information on how you sign up. So here's your, right now, your paper form that can be emailed to anybody that would like to have it emailed. And it gives you your price. It gives you all the information, your early bird for Delphi, if that's something you'd like to do. Gives you Santorini information. There is a booking code down here you'll see on the left side, and it's up here as well on the right-hand side. And if you book online, it's going to ask you for that booking code. So that booking code is specific to Greece trip for this time, for March 11th through to the 19th, or to continue on to the 21st if you go to Santorini. It's straightforward. Name, address, birth date, passport number. If you don't have a passport, then you need to get one if you wish to go. And I would not wait any length of time, because passports are slow right now getting them in the United States. If you have a passport, you put the number there, the country of issue, and the expiration date. If you don't have one, I would suggest that you write in the notes that you have applied for one and put the date that you applied. That way our air department will know that passport is coming in, should be in on time, and they won't start asking you all the time for your passport number. If you have a passport that is going to expire and it will not be current, so what you need is your passport must be current 6 months after the day you return back to the United States. So you're looking at March 21, you return back. That passport must be good for an additional 6 months. And you also need to have 2 blank pages. So if for some reason your passport will not be current till that time period, then you need to apply for a new passport. You can put your old passport number in here. You can put the rest of the information in there, but then down in the notes again, say that you've applied for a new passport and the date. That gives us an air department the opportunity not to keep asking you for your passport because they know it's coming and there's a reason why they don't have it. Then your mailing address, all of that, email address. It's extremely important you give us the correct email address because we are going to email you back and forth about different things. So please make sure that is correct. And then contact numbers if you have a home or a cell, whichever. Then how do you want to do this? Are you coming individually, single, as an individual person? That gives you a price there. If you're going to come and share a room with someone, a friend, a husband, a spouse, different things like that, significant other, that would be double. And you want to put the name of that person you're going to share with. Okay, so that your name's here, but their name's down there. And again, special notes. If you're diabetic, if you are a vegan, if you have special dietary needs, those types of things, tell us. If you are diabetic, let us know because we can make sure that the foods in the hotel are available for you that you can eat. Then the optional tours, you decide. Yes, you want to go to Delphi. If you do it by October 22nd, here's a reminder, then there's no cost, okay? If it's after that, then you will have to pay this price. The Olympia tour, again, yes, you want to or no, you don't. So then you total that up. If you were to want to go to Santorini, which, as I said, is so worthwhile, it's so different than the other parts of Greece, then again, yes or no, and you put in yes or no, whichever, and you total that amount. And then what you do is you would calculate and you put your optional tours that you got from this, and you put in your extension down here. If you're single, then you would put in whatever the single supplement costs, and then you total it. Again, if it's after the 22nd, it will be a bit different, okay? Then we suggest you always buy travel insurance. Nowadays, luggage gets lost. Sometimes people get ill. Sometimes people sprain an ankle or something. You need to go and have it checked out or have a brace put on it or it wrapped or something. You never know. So we suggest that you buy it. You don't have to buy it through Aventura World. You can purchase it through your own agent that you maybe buy house insurance and car insurance with, or they can tell you who you can purchase it with. But here we have given you 2 options. So if your trip, when you total it up down here, is in this price range, 3,500 to 4,000, then we have 2 different policies you can purchase for travel insurance. There's one, which is a basic policy, and I'll go over it in a minute. And then there's one that's a bit higher. And this is a cancel for any reason cost. So you just decide if you're going to take the optional extension. Obviously, it's probably going to put you into this category or maybe even this category. And again, you decide which insurance you'd prefer. If you don't want the insurance, please mark no, I decline, so that we know you've seen it and you decided no. And then you calculate your deposit. So your deposit is $800 plus the cost of the optional tours, whichever you're going on. And then if you're going on to Santorini as well, and that would be your total there. And that would be the amount due for your deposit. You can pay by check, you can pay by credit card. If you pay by credit card, you actually will fill this all out. And down here, you will actually give us permission to send you an invoice and to give you a link where you can actually pay with a credit card. So it gives you explanation here about it. And then here's the cancellation policy, which explains to you, should you decide to cancel, how much would be retained, how much of a refund you would get. And also, if a person was sharing a room and something happens and your roommate cancels, then you are considered a single and you do have to pay the single supplement or find another roommate, one or the other, within the time frame of November 2nd. And then down here, we ask you to sign it and date it as well. And you're giving authorization for a credit card, which we will send you a link. Okay. So that's how it is on the paper. And you can do it on paper. There's no problem whatsoever. So there also, you can do it online, but I'll go over the insurance with you first. So that basic insurance, the first one, where you see it here, says policy cost all across, and it's a little less than the other. This is what it covers. It covers pre-trip cancellation due to sickness or death of you or your immediate family. It covers medical on the trip. It covers trip interruption. It covers travel delay, misconnection, emergency medical evacuation, lost baggage and personal effects, and baggage delay. Okay, so it covers all of those things. And here you can go to this link, and it'll actually give you the terms and conditions of that plan. Cancel for any reason is literally that. You can say 48 hours before the trip, I just don't want to go. And you will get a refund, okay? You don't have to have sickness or death for yourself or your family to cancel the trip. So that is the difference. And that is why it costs a little bit more. As you can see, if you go back, it is the more expensive down there, a little bit more, but it gives you the freedom to cancel for any reason prior to the trip. So this is what it looks like online. And if you've never traveled with us before, then you would be a new user. And you simply follow just as you would on the paper, first name, last name, your email, put a password in there, and you're going to confirm your password again. And they ask you to confirm your password quite a bit before you actually get to booking on the online form, okay? If you have traveled with us before, then you use the left side, but most of you, if not all of you, will be a new user. So then it will ask you again. It'll thank you for your registration. And they're going to tell you you'll get an email shortly to activate your account. And they want you again to give your first and last name and that email again, your password, and confirm it. Again, we want to make sure that everything is done the right way. And then you simply create account. They will then send you a message back, and it will come back from Aventura World at aventuraworld.net. So you need to watch for that. Chances are it will go to your spam. So you need to be careful because you usually get it within 24 hours of having clicked online. And you should watch for it. If for some reason you don't get it, then you need to let Andrew know, and he will let me know, and we'll check from our end to make sure that we actually receive that. And so again, they'll probably ask you to verify your email address. And then they will say, now your account is active. And again, you put your email, your password, and then you can start entering the trip itself. And so they'll ask you for the booking code. And remember, I told you that booking code was on the paper registration, which is back. Oops. Sorry. Just trying to get back there so I can show you. Remember,
it's also on the front. Yeah, it's on the front.
Yeah, it's right down there. And it's also back up here on top. So that would be the booking code you need. And so you would then put in, and you'd put in a booking code. That's not the correct one. You would have to use that one we just showed you and hit enter.
Teresa, real quick, once someone asked, do you need separate accounts for a husband and a wife?
I would do separate. You're better off for the cancellation of insurance. If for some reason you had to cancel the trip, then you're not stuck with one person having to go and the other one being canceled. So yes, I would say better too. Okay. So do one person, then do the other. And then it gives you information. It just shows you. So for passenger information, you click on that and you'll fill that out. And then you'll go to room occupancy and do that. So the number of rooms you want and the room type. Do you want a double bed? Do you want a twin bed? Do you want single room? That kind of thing. And then you go on to the next one. And so each one goes through all the way up to 5 to the travel protection. And then what they do, it gives you information on the level 5 about the insurance. And it gives you, again, how you can purchase the insurance, okay? And it gives you a website as well. And then you go on from there. So this is what it looks like. And so your trip information, you put in the cost, the total cost per person that you're doing it. And as I said, do one and then do the second person. And then it goes on from there all the way through. It gives you the coverage for the insurance. Should you buy the insurance, it gives you the amounts of coverage that it's going to give you. And then you go step by step by step through it. It's pretty easy. Most everybody says it's really simple to do. If you add anything, you can do it there.
Teresa, does the insurance cover a pandemic?
If it covers medically sick or death. So, it doesn't state pandemic at this point in time because nobody knows. But it covers if you're medically sick. So, and you can have I've had people that they cancel for any reason. I've had people that it was a boyfriend and girlfriend, and I guess they got into a fight and she decided she wasn't going with him and he canceled the day before. So, and he got his money back. So, it's pretty much anything and everything that cancel for any reason. The lesser policy is you've got to have a medical emergency. Okay. And then it goes through it. You have a place where you can put the beneficiary and things like that. It goes all the way down. I'm just going to show you here. There's two things. When it asks you the primary destination of the country you're traveling to, you simply put Greece, okay? Because people will ask you. And then the primary airline select, it's undecided. So you tell them just hit the undecided. Because we don't know your travel time and your airlines until about 4 weeks before the trip itself. And then, as I said, it goes through it step by step, and that's it. So we hope you'll join us for 2024. It's an amazing trip, and you just save and send at the end. And who's got more questions?
Thanks, Teresa. That was awesome. I actually had a couple questions, if you don't mind. The first is when we were picking a destination to go to, you mentioned that Greece kind of stood out to you for two reasons. One was because you stay at a resort. So some of the other trips, you actually have to travel from different hotels to different hotels depending on where you're staying. But in Greece, you're at that one resort the entire time. So you're kind of stationary. You don't have to worry about moving.
Right. Yeah. The only move you'll do is if you're going on to Santorini. Otherwise, you're there every night. Breakfast is served every day for you. You have lunches pretty much there. If it's half day somewhere, then quite often they'll bring you back and then take you half day somewhere else. Dinners are served there. But, you can go eat in other places too. There are about 4 or 5 little restaurants in Canetta. And we walked over to a really nice restaurant and had a great meal. So you don't have to eat all your meals there. You can go to the other places, but these meals are included. And also, if you don't feel like going, say you don't want to go to Delphi, or you didn't want to go to Olympia, or you just didn't want to go, say maybe you just decide you want to stay at the resort and just relax, you can do that. All we do is ask you to let the tour director know, so that if you tell the director, I'm not going, they won't be holding the bus up for you, and they won't be knocking on the door saying, hey, where are you? And you thought you were going to get a sleep-in morning, and they're pounding on the door saying, where are you going? You didn't tell us, okay?
Right.
the other thing is that every day at the end of the day, the tour director, before you leave the bus, the tour director will say, okay, tomorrow we're going so-and-so. The weather is so-and-so, and we leave the bus at such a time. And so they let you know the day before. They also put it in the lobby. There's an area in the lobby by the front desk. They'll put that there. So again, should you not remember for some reason, or you just weren't listening or something, then you will find that right there for you. You can check on it as well. So we make sure that everybody knows everything.
Awesome.
What
And then
else?
someone asked, do they only accept euros or are US dollars accepted?
You know, you can tip in US dollars, but you'll find the majority of places are euros. Okay. Now, ATMs are available. There's an ATM just down the street from the resort. I'm not sure if there's an ATM in the resort. A lot of times the tour director can tell you for sure where they are. They know this part of the world inside out. And a lot of times the hotels will exchange money also for you, American to euros. You can also purchase euros at your bank or your credit union and find out what they're going to charge you for those euros, because it depends on, you know, how the dollar and the euro fluctuate. One day the euro is stronger, the next day the American dollar is stronger, kind of thing. So you can buy them. I would talk to the bank. You don't have to usually talk to them till about a month before, but it does take most banks 3 or 4 days to get euros for you. And so you want to make sure that you can get what you want. I usually take about $300 in US money, and I use it for tips and things. And then I sometimes exchange with the tour director. They always have lots of euros on them as well. They sort of operate sometimes as a little bank as well. And then there are ATMs. And again, and I'm not sure, I'll check for you. I'll write a note down about the hotel. When I was there, I don't remember the ATM being there. It was just down, a little bit of a walk. It was like 5-minute walk, but I'll check and see if they've got them in the hotel now. They may have them in the hotel because people always ask. And if you get money, if you get euros from the ATMs, it's about a 3% charge on whatever you take out. So that's usually what it is. And quite often it's cheaper than going to your bank to get it. What else?
I have one more question. You specifically mentioned the resort food. You said that kind of stood out to you of all the trips that you've done with Aventura, that the food at this resort was kind of top notch. Can you elaborate on
Yeah,
that?
you've got lots of choices. They serve American breakfast in the morning or European style. So you can ask for an omelet, or bacon and ham and eggs and all the things that Americans like. But they also have all the croissants and the breads and the European foods as well, Greek food as well. So you can, they have a hot and cold buffet, which is always open, but then they'll also take special orders for omelets and things like that as well. So scrambled eggs or things like that. So they do it that way. The desserts at this place were to die for. It was hard not to go by and at least take 2 desserts for every meal you had, because they were really good. But and the lunches are good. And again, as I said, you're also going to be at a couple other places for lunches on the tour, probably in Delphi and Olympia, and you may even be on one other one. So it gives you a chance to sample the other foods in the other restaurants in the other locations. And then in Santorini, they have really good food again at the restaurant or at the hotel with 2 restaurants. And then you can also just walk down or up the hill, depending on which way you are, to some of the restaurants there. We had great food there as well. It was really good food. And it was fun. The walk was fun. The road is narrow in Santorini, so it's not like you have a freeway or anything like that. It's a 2-lane road and sometimes 1-lane road. So what
Very
else?
cool. I think that's all the questions we have, unless if anyone else has let's see, how many people are signed up for the extension trip to Santorini?
You don't have to worry about that. We do ask you to have 15 to 20 people. So encourage people to do it because it's really worthwhile. But we also have other chambers that will be staying at the resort when you are. And you may find that you share a bus with them. Just depends on how many folks you have, or you may have your own bus. So generally speaking, we have no problem with getting people to Santorini. We do suggest at least 15. And usually if we have another 2 chambers, which I know I have 2 more chambers going about the same time, and there might be one other one, we'll make that 15. So tell people not to worry about that. And if for some reason it didn't happen, we would give you that money back. That you would get your refund. So again, they don't need to worry about that. Okay.
Okay.
But overall, there should be no problem.
Excellent. Well, I think that covers it. For those that are tuned in, if you have any additional questions, feel free to shoot me an email, give me a call, shoot me a text. I will get you an answer. If I don't know it, I can guarantee you Teresa knows it. This video will be available probably by the end of the week on our YouTube channel. So we'll start pushing that out in case there was anything you missed. And Teresa, you have anything else you want to say to kind of wrap up?
I just say sign up and enjoy this trip. It's beautiful country. The people are so nice. You're also supporting your chamber and what it's doing, and that means it's going to be able to do more in the community as well. So it's a good cause. And don't forget Santorini either, because it is so very different as well. And I'm sure you'll have a wonderful time. And I will talk to you all before the trip, because we do a pre-trip departure about 4 weeks before the trip itself. And so it'll be me talking to you again about what to expect and remind you on what to wear and things like that as well.
Excellent. Awesome.
Okay.
Well, thank you all for
Thanks.
attending. Teresa, thank you for spending your Monday evening with us. We appreciated it, and we'll be in touch if we have any questions.
Great, Andrew. Talk to you soon. Bye. Thank
See ya.
you.
Bye, everyone.